Yeah, I mean, you guys got to be prepared for when the podcast starts to do the intro.
So, Janelle, okay.
So whenever you're ready, because we've already been on, we started already.
All right.
So I asked them to do we asked them to do the intro, and I was like, you know what, this is gold while we're talking about asking them to do the intro.
Yeah.
So I pushed record.
Okay, right, Janelle, you're on. Go.
All right. Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 56.
Hey, there we go. Nice script reading.
Again, better than Ken.
Yes, every time. Chris Cajun now, has competition in the show introduction department, right?
I think he's got a bit of an ego about his intro abilities.
He does. In a comment, earlier in one of the last videos, he was like, come on, Ken, get it straight. Do you need me to come back on the show and do this? Sure. Any help I can get.
But this show is about FJ Treasures, Frank and Janelle. Do a real quick intro for us about who you guys are, what you guys are doing on YouTube and eBay and stuff like that.
Yes.
We are nobodies. Well, last week we were. We're just a small YouTube channel making YouTube videos like everybody else, showing what we buy, what we sell, having fun while we do it. It's more the YouTube thing's more of a hobby for us. I enjoy editing. I don't know. Do you enjoy recording, Hen? Do you enjoy it?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. That's how I feel.
Right.
And he doesn't like to edit at all.
I don't do anything. I don't mind the editing process when I actually do a video. But you kind of said there right in the beginning that you were kind of nobodies until which isn't last week. So yes,
we may go back to nobodies after a couple weeks here, just from that one little video that seems to be the talk of the town lately.
You've got something out there, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. Yeah. But we have Frank and Janelle on today because we got to hang out with them.
Yeah,
over the weekend.
More important than BubbleGate.
Yes, exactly. We there was the National Road Route 40 highway sales that they stretch actually from Baltimore, Maryland over to St. Louis, Missouri is the Route 40. So we're in Ohio, and Route 40 runs through kind of southern Ohio or mid southern, I guess, just kind of below Columbus, which is centrally located.
Yep.
And Frank and Janelle drove down from Buffalo to do a highway sale, hook up with me and Jimmy and Sonya and Jill, and just have a fun day of sourcing. And so we're going to chit chat about that, about highway sales, about meetups.
They came down here to do a highway sale. They didn't realize they would be doing like a sauna diet while they were down here because it was like a sauna out there at that sale.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh, it was a hot weekend. You know what, though? We had a blast with you guys. It was a good time. I mean, that was the first big group we've been with as far as picking wise.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. It was great. A lot of action.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Jim.
No. What did you learn about how Ken picks? Because Frank was like, that Ken is good. He's good.
What was I talking about?
Like how with like the kids' clothes, how he was, when.
Yeah, I noticed, Ken, you do a 180 when you see a garage sale with a ton of kids' clothes and kids' stuff. And hold on, I do the same, and I kind of beat myself up for it because Janelle will give me crap about it. She'll be like,
"It's well documented that Ken hates yard sales with little kids' clothes everywhere."
I think that's kind of scary, because they're all personal use. I'm looking at these kids' toys. These kids, no, actually, what I look for is the toys. When I see a sale and there's like toys, but if I see like all pink, I'm usually driving by. I'm usually driving by.
That's what
Well, I do the same, and Janelle will give me crap about it. She'll be like, there could have been something there that was good, and seeing someone else do the same thing makes me feel better.
Could you do an example of you giving him crap about that right now? Is that something you could do? You just drove by a yard sale full of nothing but pink kids' clothes because Frank wanted to. What are you going to say to him?
What am I going to say? I don't know. I probably won't say much of anything. I'll mope a little bit. I mean, you never know. You never know what's there. There's, bins of toys or whatever. I mean, you found those Monster High dolls. There was a bunch of girls, kids clothes there, and you found all those.
Yes.
So.
Well, you know, one of the things that I always look for if I see a sale that's a bunch of baby stuff is the baby monitors, the baby room monitors, especially the ones that have the little video cameras and stuff. You'll find those a lot at sales that have, and I've always sold those pretty good. They always move along. If you have a decent one and it works in maybe a couple units that go with it, and again, especially the video ones, those always sell really well. People are just wanting to get rid of them. You can pick them up for, you know.
Like that before,
I think we sold one that was new in the box. I don't know if we've picked any used ones up, but we sold a new one, I think, before.
Weren't you, Frank? Weren't you telling me about something that was a baby item that you did really good on, like a crank up swing or something?
We haven't sold it yet. We found it just last weekend.
Yeah, it's a vintage baby swing that, it's got the crank on it. We haven't sold it yet. I haven't even listed it yet.
That's a bolo? Like, that's something to be... I didn't know it was.
Yeah, well, we got it for $3. I looked it up at the sale because I was like, you know, it's old.
You guys have a ghost?
And I don't remember. It's got a... Huh?
You guys have a ghost?
I know.
Yeah, it's 1 second. It's our son.
Okay. I was like, they got a ghost.
Oh, little
Did
Frankie back there.
Sorry, I saw the door open and close, and I was like, they got a ghost. We got a ghost. This show just went from reselling to ghost
to a paranormal. We're gonna take on Mountain Man Treasures over there with his paranormal channel. We're gonna set up the mics and the cameras and the ectoplasmic, whatever those things at the Ghostbusters.
Right.
For a split second, I was worried about your guys' well-being. So, I saw that door open. I was like, if I see Jason or something there, man, Michael Myers, this show's over. We're done.
And with
goodbye.
Frank out of the way, we can see a little more of the treasure chest down there that you're working in. And hey, I will comment though, if you've been watching the show, like for say the last month, Jimmy has had pretty much a stark white background behind him when he was moving from Colorado. It was all white because he'd taken down his whole collection. And when he got to Ohio, he's still setting up there. But man, look how it's shaping up behind you now. You got some cool shelving behind you. You got is that the Mario poster?
Mario's poster. I got Voltron. This is the Boba Fett I just picked up at that community sale up here.
Nice. So you're
gonna that video I just put out. And again, Jill, I know Jill's watching. Thanks to Jill, I have this nice, and her friend, a friend of Jill's. A friend of Jill's. I have this nice backdrop.
Shout out to Chef on those. Yeah, that was a pretty cool setup. There he is.
I'm back. Someone forgot to turn night lights on.
I turned them on.
No, they were off.
See, you got everybody's in the trouble. Frank is driving past sales.
Yeah.
Janelle's leaving lights off.
I don't think this show's not going to bode well for you guys. In the end, this is FJ Treasure Exposed.
Yeah, and I don't even have the ability to cut this crap out either. I'm used to hiding behind a nice GoPro, and I just cut out the stuff I don't want to use. And...
That's why he likes to edit, folks. He said that he likes to edit.
Yes, I do like edit. Editing is actually hurtful for me because that's why I don't get a lot of videos up, and because I take way too long adding all the spice to it and everything.
Now, I mean, but they come out really nice
when they do come out. Well, sometimes they don't come out at all. And later.
Now,
that's my gig.
While you were up, Frank, we got to put Janelle on the spot about the money pile behind you. I'll call that a death pile.
Yeah, so do I.
That looks like it's about ready to fall over and trap somebody.
Oh, did I expose your pile back there? When I got,
you're currently eclipsing it, but when you got up, we got to see
a little bit,
just a little bit of it. You mean it's like there's more of it?
No, for the rest of the show, you just have to get up and you have to explain every item that's in the pile and why you don't have it listed yet.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then Ken can go to his garage and do the same thing.
So this is a 24-hour episode of the Reseller Clickbait podcast.
I put that shelf up there for her with bins to put on like unlisted stuff and kind of categorize it a little bit. I don't even think you can get to that shelf anymore. You can't even.
Not right now. No. Yeah, I gotta clean that out.
I'm working. I said I wouldn't have a death pile here in Ohio, but after this last Route 40 sale, I have a death pile.
Nice.
Me and Sonya are going to be working on it all week.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about the Route 40 because I had a blast, but I wanted to say I'm surprised you guys are still like talking to me and Sonya after that whole Dairy Queen thing. Like me and Sonya at Dairy Queen, we're literally like, you guys got to kind of see like we pick on each other really bad, right?
Yeah.
So you guys were all talking at one table, and you guys look over at me and Sonya, and we are dying laughing after a little joke and Sonya was picking on me. So I just like, you guys are probably looking over like, are they okay? Is something wrong with them?
No, we actually signed you up for something that you didn't even realize. I mean, me and Ken were having a full conversation, and we volunteered you for stuff. And
what am I doing?
Yeah, you don't know about this.
What did I get volunteered for?
Well, me and Ken can't tell you. You didn't hear us. The blender was going.
Oh yeah, that was my joke. I was pretending like I was all the blender. And then for some reason, Sonya thought that was hilarious, and it wasn't even that funny.
It had to be the loudest ice cream shop or loudest restaurant I've ever been. I've been into restaurants that have a live band playing, and it couldn't have been any louder than that. The milkshake mixer machine was just brutal.
Yeah, we were trying to have a conversation, right?
Yeah, it only lasted for about 10 seconds at a time, but it's every so often it'd be going off again.
Some designer engineers say, hey, this is a great spot for the blender. We'll put it right here next to these tables.
It's great for the customers. It's great for conversations. Yeah, we couldn't even hear each other talk, and that's what we started joking around about. Because Ken was like, so we should have them on the podcast.
And that was just my regular voice when I'm out in public.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I always have an outside voice. So the Route 40, you had said this is one of the first times you got to go picking in a group. And I think, even with there's 6 of us, 8, wait, how many?
Oh, there's 6 of us. Yeah.
6 of us picking all at the same time at the same sales, and just about every sale, somebody came away with something.
Yeah. I'm glad you hit that, Ken, because I never really had any doubts about picking with a large group, because I know a lot of people might say, oh, there's going to be competition. You guys are all going to be fighting over stuff. But I noticed it's a different style of picking with a large group. You are getting through 100 more garage sales than you are like Janelle and I. We're going to go through it with a little bit more finer tooth comb. Right. With the 6 of us, we're rating the sale, right? You're going down an aisle. I'm going down an aisle. We're glancing over quick and on to the next one. So I feel like we hit maybe 4 or 5 times more sales than we would have with just Janelle and I. So it's kind of more of an adrenaline rush because you're getting more action. You're running and gunning.
Maybe that's why I was so worn out, because I was worn out.
Well, that heat, it was 90 degrees out and no breeze, no cloud cover at all, and it was just brutal. And that in and out of the car, and really a lot of the area that we were in had a lot of hills to it, so you might you just going up somebody's driveway, you're parked out on the street, and it was it was like a ski slope going up
one house
to get to the house.
But it was worth it because it wasn't worth it, but it was worth it. We walked up that one hill, and that guy, he had like 4 things spread out on 6 tables. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, he had nothing for sale. But we walk into his garage, and we're looking through his garage, all of us. You guys too were, because there was nothing for sale on the tables, but his garage up in that loft. What was up in that loft? Remember?
Oh, that.
And all the blow molds.
Right.
Yeah, we were trying to get him to sell his blow molds, man, because he
had like a 42 Ford or something like that on a lift in the garage. Very cool.
You guys got to see the video if you want to know what kind of car it was, because we don't remember.
I'm just making stuff up. I forgot there was video evidence coming out later.
So but Ken of course asked if he would sell the blow molds.
Yeah, and we missed out. They had sold, those are the ones that they like to use in their yard for their display. And he said, we had a number of them out here this morning, and they all went real quick. So
I don't think anybody asked if he was going to sell the car, though. We could have flipped that car, We could probably gotten some money for that car.
Jimmy, you head back down there tomorrow.
What do you think?
If he still has the car.
I
thought Jill was the guy had like a pallet jack.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I thought I had put money that Jill was going to buy the pallet jack, because if anybody goes sourcing with Jill, she goes and she finds the biggest items that you can find at the sale. You know, we had to go back and pick one up later. Oh, but I did tell her later, of all the items that the non-reselling items that were picked, that bench that she bought, this like vintage bench that was made out of an old door that still had like the working handle on it. And it was probably the coolest item that was picked up for the day. And like $10 she paid for that.
I remember we stopped like, why is Jill's running back to the sale? She literally ran back to she decided to buy it.
Yeah, and I was like, she sale too.
I was like, she has to fill the truck at the first sale. She cannot.
First sale. You gotta get the biggest item at the first sale.
It's like going with Jimmy to sales. Well, it was the same thing, because we rode around. We took 2 vehicles, right? Jimmy rode around with Frank and Janelle, and Sonya rode with Jill and I. And I had one little side of the back, you know, the hatch. It's an SUV. I had one little side, and then Sonya's stuff was all spread out on the other side, and then the whole back seat was filled with all of Jill's purchases. You know, it's not that I'm not picking enough stuff, it's I ain't got no room to put it.
No, that's why you only bought 4 binders the whole day.
That's it. 4 10-cent tech deck binders. I think those are going to do well when I look at things. All of this stuff back here, these are all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle puzzles, games, and some My Pet Monster puzzles that I was comping out, and I had found those the day before. Jimmy and Sonya and I had went out to some community sales, so we had the highway sale on Saturday. Friday we went out to all the community sales and did really well. That
Ken, he also found this Wii in a box for me. Passed it on to me. It was missing parts though, but it's got the console.
Was there a game in
2 remotes with no battery back. I haven't tested it yet. It might be a game in there.
The Wii Sports game might be in it.
And we got
let's do that. If you get a chance, we should do that on the podcast to find out here live.
Yeah, go see if we got a power cord.
There's like a squeaking noise.
Yeah, go see if you got a power cord. We'll do the old what's in the Wii.
Yeah, what's in the Wii?
So that was a good deal. They wanted $20 for that.
Yeah.
And it said on the box there was some stuff on there that was that the remotes didn't have the backs to them, and it didn't have some cables and some sensor bars. But overall, it's like, well, you've got the full box, all the full box, the manuals, everything was in there, the console. So when you have extra power cords and sensor bars and stuff like that you pick up, and it's like that box is going to add. So we ended up. Frank and I were talking about it. It's like, hey, I want to make sure you guys, have a good trip. And it's like, you want to pay $10 for this? And he's like, well, yeah, if you don't want it. And so I negotiated the deal, and we went, got the gal at the sale to go down $10. She had to make a phone call. Hey, will you do 10, on that?
We need a Zelda game, a Mario game, or a sports game.
That would be
Come on.
They did have other Wii games out on the table, like a stack of actual games, but they were way overpriced. That like dance part they want, Wii dance party, they want like $15.
Look at it over here.
Did she get a power cord?
Yeah, she plugged it in off camera. I tell you, you can't plug it in off camera, because then she's gonna come over with some game and
she
just pulled that out of stock. That's not
just put Zelda in there.
Yeah, it'd be like 40% short if you did.
Okay.
Right. It's like cutting the camera while the wheel's spinning,
Yeah.
Okay. So
here we
whenever
go.
you got that, we're gonna drum roll.
So anybody, come on, Wii Sports, come on, Mario Kart or something.
Zelda.
Nothing.
He's pushing.
Nothing.
Frank
Nothing.
has the Wii plugged in.
Empty.
He's pushing the button.
No game.
It is empty, but it did power on. Yes,
it did power on. I do hear the little motor spinning in there. No SD card in there either. So
I should have done a video, because Sonya bought a Wii the day before, and it had Mario. It had a Sports Resort in there, which is like a $30 game. So $30 added on to our buy right there.
Oh, that's right. Sonya was the pick of the day on Friday when we went out. Well, the Jimmy's get, but yeah, Sonya scored a video game haul by asking, you know, hey, they have one video game there, or one like a Wii Fit board or something.
Yeah, it was
like,
a Wii Fit board, and she's like, "Go ahead."
Do you have any, you know, other video games or the Wii that goes? Well, matter of fact,
we
do. And so Jimmy's, you know, tongue hit the floor when she comes out. What else did she come out with?
She had a Nintendo 64 console with about 7 games, and a Wii with about 6 games. Actually, 7 games, because there was a game in it that we didn't know.
Yeah.
2 controllers for the Nintendo 64. One was a rare yellow, or a green one, a clear green one.
Wow.
And
he doesn't
we got
understand
everything
colors
for $100.
And that's why we should have been there Friday, honey.
Now we paid up at $100, but 3 of the games will get 3 of the Nintendo 64 games will get us to a profit, and then everything else will be profit.
Yeah, that's
Sonya asked the question that we should all be asking: why are we here? It's 90 degrees. No, I want to talk a little bit about Frank, man. Frank is a daredevil on those roads, man. Like you know how many times he just jumped out of that truck there was a car, so he stopped on the side of the highway, and there's cars coming. He just opens his door and gets out.
That's New York style for you right there.
Like semi trucks driving, and he's just like walking in the street. And I was like, so that's how they do it in New York. They don't mess around.
No.
I think we dumped you off on the highway a couple times too at Sale.
Yeah, you did.
But
yeah, that was.
Well, let's talk about Ken. He doesn't care. He'll just pull right into people's driveways and stuff. I learned from him. Just back with their driveway. Just pull right in. Yeah. Pull right up with their cables. Back right up and load up.
I did find out that Sonya prefers to source with me, because she's like, man, this is great. We get better parking spaces. You know, I'm going to just pull right up. I'm going to pull right up into the drive, right to the tables, you know, just get right up in there.
And, you know, sales that so Ken was letting me lead, which I still have no clue why, because I have never been there. I don't know the area.
I've never been there.
But so I would pull up a little bit to allow a spot for Ken to park behind me, and I'm looking at my mirror, and there goes Ken, right up to the driveway, right up to the table. So I'm like, well,
Sonya's already at the table picking.
So that was we were surprised though to see Jimmy that Jimmy and Sonya actually made it to the sale, because they had we'll say a questionable stay the night before. So here was the scenario. Frank and Janelle drove down Friday evening after Frank got off work, because he doesn't know how to schedule his own classes and meetings. You know, hey, there's a highway sale. Let's go ahead and schedule a class for, you know, his regular 9-to-5 job. And then Jimmy and Sonya went down Friday. They picked all the way down there in Westerville, Reynoldsburg, across Hebron, onto Route 40 to get to their final destination was Cambridge, Ohio, where they met up. And so Jimmy and Sonya get to your hotel, and
so we were going to stay in Zanesville, but the hotel was going to be a fortune.
Yes.
Like it was going to be well over $200 for the hotel. And I was like, no, like I'm not like, and since we were driving from Zanesville to Cambridge was going to be the end spot, I was like, see how much a hotel room is in Cambridge. And I should know better. I should know better than to say that to Sonya, because she's going to find the cheapest hotel there is. It was literally a 2-star hotel. And I've never stayed at a 2-star hotel till now. I lie. Sonya's found other 2-star hotels for sure. And we roll up, and
not 1-star, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, is there even such a thing? Like, how do you get it said Bates Motel, and I was like, oh boy. No, so we roll up, and like, this is the first thing I'm going to put up a picture. For those of you listening, I'm going to put a picture up. This is the very first thing I saw when we roll up, is a bunch of rolled up carpet in the grass out front of the hotel room. And I'm like, they're literally getting rid of evidence right there. Like, and there's mattresses out on the patios and stuff. And I'm like, this is not good. And it was like it was a really scary hotel. It was one of those ones where the walkways are outside. When you're going to your room, you're not in a nice hallway or anything. You're outside, like on a porch, walking to your room, and the floors are like creaking, and you're at my weight. I'm afraid I'm going to fall through and all that fun stuff. Yeah, but we made it. We survived.
You made it. So you guys then you got to your room, and then Frank and Janelle got there, and you guys got to go have a cool dinner.
Well, you guys let me know if it was a cool dinner. I was like, I don't want anything big to eat or anything.
Yeah, no, it was a good time.
Yeah,
I think we closed the place. We were there 3 hours.
I was too scared to go back to the hotel. I'm not going anywhere. We're staying here at Ruby Tuesdays until they close.
They have a nice salad bar.
Yeah,
it was quiet there for Friday night too. There wasn't anybody there. A lot of empty tables, and waitress was really cool. She was like, "Yeah, hang out as long as you guys want." So. Wouldn't it be a good time?
I think overall our picking. So then we all met up in Zanesville, Ohio, is where we were seeing a lot of sales, a lot of signs, and it was a lot of sign chasing that we did, but there were enough sales. You could just going up the main road. There was,
ton of
stop after stop right there, but we did do some sign chasing.
I have a funny story about that. I told you guys about it, but I got to tell the listeners. And because the day before, again, me and Sonya got there the day before, and we had picked all the way up, but we agreed we would not pick from Zanesville to Cambridge because that was Saturday.
Yes.
And we were driving through Zanesville, not a sign to be seen, no sales anywhere. And Sonya was like, "Who told you to go to Zanesville?" And I was like, "Paul Philly Flipper." And she goes, "Well, that Paul Philly Flipper," I'm sorry, she said, "That Paul Philly Flipper's full of shit." Full of shit. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, "There's no sales. There's not a sale to be seen." And so finally we broke through Zanesville and got the other side of it, and then that's when the signs started popping up everywhere. So Paul, you're off the hook this time, but Sonya was gonna come after you. You were gonna be in deep trouble.
So yeah, she did have some choice words for him for quite a while there until.
See, they already know how she wasn't playing around, was she?
Nope.
So how many years did Sonya serve in the Navy? Because she does cuss like a sailor when
she's like, because she worked in a mechanics shop, so like she was a service writer. She cusses worse than them, man. It's terrible.
So I think the interesting thing, we'll kind of, start to sum up some of our thrifting trip, because I do want to get a little bit to this video that you guys have out. But I think the interesting thing, we were out for, I think, at least 5 hours or so, and we hit a ton of sales, whether it was sign chasing or whether it was, just along the main road. And it ended up, we decided it was getting hot. Some people were starting to shut up their sales, and it was only like maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we said, okay, let's go back to kind of the front end where we had started, because Jimmy's car, we had left one car in an abandoned parking lot. I don't know where.
I'm surprised it was still there.
It was still there and untampered with. But there was a Cracker Barrel restaurant that was right back in that area. So let's go back to the Cracker Barrel. Now, granted, we had hit tons of sales, and seemed like we had driven all over, and we go to GPS how to get back to the Cracker Barrel, and it's 5 miles away. So if that tells you anything about, say, the Route 40 sale and the number of sales that we did just in the Zanesville, we had covered 5 miles in 5 hours and filled up 2 vehicles, 2 SUVs with stuff.
With 6 pickers. 6 pickers going to each sale.
Yes. So that's so overall, Route 40, give Route 40, okay, let's say give the Route 40 sales a grade. Where would you be with the stuff that you picked? And I'm not talking the camaraderie and the meetup and just the fun and the laughing and goofing around, because that's an A+ right there. That's a given. I think, we could get higher than an A. I'll say an A. If Jimmy didn't come, A+.
Yeah, he's doing the delusions of grandeur again, folks. It's all because of him that it was an A+.
So what would you think of your say your group picking and the Route 40 sales altogether?
You talking to us or Jimmy?
Sure.
I go with an A.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, there was a lot of sale. You know, all the signs and everything. It was just.
I mean, we didn't walk away with like any crazy. I don't think any of us Saturday really got any like crazy home runs. To like.
I got those marbles have a potential.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm gonna learn about those marbles, but I bought a big jar of marbles, a huge jar of vintage marbles.
I looked in that same bin. I was at that part of the garage. I looked in that same bin. It's like I didn't see nothing. I went on. Jimmy walks over and goes, "Hey, look at this, $1,000 jar of marbles right here."
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have ever look up vintage marble lot and look at solds. Now, if you get the right ones, you're talking $1,000 for a lot. Now, I know a little bit to know that the jar is definitely not full of the right ones, but I can spot a couple here and there that look like they're the right ones. So if I can put together a decent little lot of the right vintage marbles, that could be the big buy. I got to do some research and some more learning than what I already know. So there's a chance, Frank. There's a chance, and I'll make sure to let you guys know.
Yeah.
In one of my what solds if it was the hit that I think it could possibly be.
Awesome. I guess I'd like to chime in too. If nobody's been to a highway sale or is curious about them and whether it's worth driving out of town to a highway sale versus just hitting neighborhood sales in your area, it's a different kind of picking. I mean, it's kind of worth it, I guess, because you're putting less. I mean, you're putting the miles to get there, but you're putting less miles on. You're getting more action, more adrenaline, especially with a large group. It builds you up. It gets you hyped up to go rather than just driving from town to town and flopping around your own little hometown. But it's exciting. It's fun. I recommend it for anybody to check out a highway sale. And definitely go with friends. I mean, don't be afraid to bring some friends with you. They're not going to steal all the good stuff from you. You're just gonna get through more sales faster.
Right.
Jimmy, you grade it?
Well, I mean, other than if we're not talking, do we take the hotel out of the factor? The murder hotel, is that part of it? What about Sonya's brain freeze? Are we talking? Is that part of it? Because that adds to the grade. Not Sonya getting a brain freeze at Dairy Queen makes the grade go up. I mean, we're talking A++.
We're looking over. Sonya is obviously in pain, and I don't think we laughed bigger the whole weekend. Yeah. Sonya's like, she's laughing, and she's trying not to laugh because she's in so much pain. But I would probably go. So what grade, Jimmy, are you gonna give?
Just the sale itself, I would be B+, A. Again, those marbles are pretty much going to be the determining factor. No, Sonya finding video games, it's an A+. Yeah, we had a great haul because Friday for us was part of the Route 40.
Right.
We hit Route 40. We were the only ones to hit Route 40 on Friday. So go both days. And I know you guys had some things going on where you
won't be the only ones next year.
Yeah. Don't schedule a class on Friday. Because Friday was great. Friday was really, really good picking. Really good. Yeah. And that was later in the day because we went to a different sale early Friday and we hit the Route 40 after 11 on Friday, and we were still. Sonya found the video games. We were picking a lot at every sale that we stopped at.
Jimmy,
I think it was an A+ because I mean,
share with them what the sales looked like Saturday afternoon when they were like when we rolled up to a big sale Saturday afternoon with a lot of stuff sitting out.
Yeah,
on a Saturday afternoon, why that a lot of stuff was still there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, well, for me, it was just staring at Frank's air conditioner while they were picking because I was too hot to get out of the truck.
It got to be what 11:30, maybe 12:30 Saturday afternoon, and some of the sales were getting pretty picked through and a lot of empty tables, and then you get to a sale with a lot of stuff and you get a little excited. It's like, oh wow, this is a big sale, let's check this out. Right. And you get up there and you start looking at price tags and it's like, that's why all this stuff's still here.
There were some that were priced so
like those popcorn melted plastic popcorn things. Jimmy found a whole stack. There's like 6-8 of them right there, and it's like, oh man, this is going to be great. And the ladies like right away, well, just so you know, those are $10 a piece. Like he didn't even ask a price yet, and she's already like, just so you know. And it's like, okay, we can let them sit out here on this hot.
Right.
And they had like a big wagon or something that they were
cooking out there. If you guys don't, if for you users that don't know, like back in the, what was the 70s?
Yeah, 60s,
70s, like there was like decorations that were like this. It looked like popcorn, but it was just like melted plastic pieces that were put together. And they actually do really good on eBay, but they were the wrong theme to buy right now. I don't, you know, you can get anywhere from $25 to $60 a piece, depending on the piece, but these were Easter and Valentine's. So I'm literally going to wait till next year for them to sell. Because the one thing I will say about those, I have sold them and they always sell around the holiday that they belong to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like they sell well all year round. I feel like,
and usually the Easter and the Valentine's ones are not as higher dollar as you get the good Christmas ones, and especially the Halloween ones. Sell really well.
Cool.
Halloween's always really good theme. And then I was at a large sale in the afternoon. Man, she had like 3 rows of tables in her garage there, and I found a 35mm. I can't remember the brand. It's in my footage. 35mm camera with 2 lenses. And if you guys don't know, like point and shoot 35mm cameras are kind of a bolo with some brands.
Yes.
And I think the camera body with 1 lens was comping out at about 60. I don't know enough about lenses and that to pay up for it. Right. And she had make offer on it, you know. And so I asked her, well, how much you looking to get for it? She goes, oh, I don't know, make an offer. I'm like, well, give me a ballpark, start with something here. And she would not give me a number. So she goes, well, give me a number. I go, well, how about $1? And she got like kind of ticked off at me. I'm like, well, you wanted me to come up with a price. I'm going to give you the lowest price I can. I'm willing to pay.
If you said make an offer,
she goes, well, I'm not doing $1. I'm like, okay, well, how about $10? And then she got like really ticked off at me again. And she's like, really? I can't do $10. I go, well, give me a number. I mean, let's negotiate here. She would not give me an. So I just put it back and I go, well, you know, I don't even know if this thing works. I go, everything's digital now. So I just walked away from that sale.
Frank is not welcome at the Route 40 sale anymore. He actually got banned.
In that neighborhood, I'm banned for many other reasons that are not reselling related. But
before we started the show, Frank, you had mentioned that you have some of the stuff that you guys picked right there. I want to get Janelle involved in the show a little bit right here because she picked. Like, I love toys and I love like 80s stuff. And she picked my favorite thing from the weekend. I want her to tell us about this item. I thought it was awesome. When she showed me, I was like, what? How did you find that from? And like, not only from it's very rare. Like, it wasn't the main character from the show. Tell us about it. I'm telling about it. You tell about it.
It's from 1985. The brand is Galoob. And I just typed that because I didn't know the character. I didn't know, you know. But I just typed that in, and it came up Punky Brewster dog. I don't even know the dog's
I don't know the dog. Let's look it up right now. Are you on that, Ken?
Here's where Punky? I go to Google while she's
he's gonna punch.
If people don't know Janelle from our videos and that, she is a plush queen. She loves plush. She sources a ton of plush. We actually shameless plug. She's got a couple of videos of like top 10 plush to look for when you're out there.
That's the first thing I go for at garage sales. if there's
I
a plush
that
bin.
right away.
I love shipping plush. That's about
you can't break them or anything, you know. So I paid $1 for it, and it goes for between $40-$50 or so.
Wow,
he's in really good shape. Yeah. So
that's cool.
So like, I love that. That's Galoob. For me, Galoob is Micro Machines. Like I love selling Micro Machines, and I know that brand from Micro Machines mainly. And I was like, when she said Galoob, I was like, okay, well, that's got to be something cool because Galoob made a lot of cool stuff. Did you get the dog's name?
I did. Punky Brewster's dog's name was Brandon.
Brandon. That I would have never guessed that.
On the show. And it was named after Brandon Tartikoff, who was the head of whatever network it was on, or
Fun Facts by Sonya. Wow.
Yes. So Brandon, so there you go. You got a Galoob, Punky Brewster, Brandon Golden Retriever. It was the breed.
Yep.
And the actual real dog's name was Sandy. There you go. Aww. Finish up the fun fact.
Nice.
I'm gonna make this show sad because I hate watching old shows and seeing dogs in there because they're not with us anymore.
That's true.
Very
Wow,
sad.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
That is
sorry to
sad.
ruin everybody's.
Yeah, you just got Janelle all sad.
Anybody that watches an old movie or an old show with dogs in it, I'm sorry,
Janelle,
but that dog is.
Janelle loves dogs too. Now
Wow.
It's very. I get every time I watch an old show, I think about that.
Well, now I am too. Thanks. Jeez. I never thought about that.
I ruined
before.
everybody's old movies with dogs.
Yeah.
Lassie.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just sad. So, Janelle, what would you say is your grade for highway sales? We heard from Frank. What you?
Yeah, I'd say, probably about an A. I guess. I mean, just the frequency of garage sales, the signs, like you said, only going 5 miles. I mean, that was not. I love going to community sales, neighborhood sales where you can just park and walk. Yeah. But I mean, even just driving a little ways down the road to go, I like that a lot. That was a lot of, and I mean, we got a good bunch of stuff. Nothing crazy, but
now you're a digger. You like to like really poke around at a garage sale and dig pretty deep. Did you? I mean, were we going too fast for you? Were you getting a little upset? Or?
No, I mean there wasn't really a lot of spots to dig. I mean there wasn't. It was good.
There was a couple sales that would have been good for digging, except for they were priced so high. I mean,
exactly.
Remember the community that we actually got to walk? Remember that first sale in there? There was a lot of good stuff, but she was literally priced
way too high.
Yep.
Hey, Jimmy, how about that time she was in the zone digging and we were all, she didn't even realize we were back in the cars.
We got in the trouble right there. I was like, let her pick because I'm getting air conditioner.
And I didn't end up getting anything anyway. But.
You can see the look on her face. She looks up and like kind of glares around. And she's like, "Where'd everybody go?"
I'm sorry, Janelle. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry I made you guys wait.
No, that was the sale where I was mad because she had the popcorn decorations.
I saw
priced
those.
too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought some popcorn at a yard sale.
Yeah,
actually, they had a popcorn machine going. And you guys didn't go to that sale because there were 2 sales side by side, and we parked out front. And Sonya and I went left, Jill and Sonya, and then you guys went right to the other sale, and they had like a popcorn cart in there.
Ask
like
us
soon as I walked
why
in,
we didn't go to that sale.
You didn't even share the popcorn.
It was priced too high. Everything was priced.
Sonya said, "You don't want anything from that sale." She went. And then we see Ken and Jill walking with these tubs of popcorn back to the car.
Didn't even share the popcorn.
I guess we didn't want popcorn either.
I guess. Jeez.
Sonya told us no popcorn for you.
So overall, I think the Route 40 sale was a success. It was tough to go down. I think myself personally, because on this first weekend in June, there were so many sales that were close to home. That were community sales, stuff that I could have driven, 20 or 30 minutes and not close to 2 hours. But I think that picking together, of course, I ask everybody to grade it, taking the camaraderie and the friendship and the fun out of it. How was it? How was it? But that, I think it's hard to do that because it was so much fun, running around with everybody, had a good lunch. You guys had a good dinner the night before. And just and then you got those stories that you can pass along and do, and everybody gets excited. There's you'd think in a group, again, when everybody's picking and one guy gets like the really good item at the sale, it's like you want to go, but it's like cool, nice score, Jimmy, Punky Brewster plush, get out of here, Janelle.
I saw you walking back with those tech deck that you got, the tech
cool.
binders.
Yeah, that was cool.
Those are a good find. I was jealous of that.
For 10 cents each. That's crazy. That's cool.
That was hey, and I was even the nice guy, out of my norm because I'm going to work down everybody on a price. We've discussed that before. They wanted 10 cents a piece for those binders, and there were 4 of them. I gave the guy 50 cents out of the being generous in my heart, and
mark this.
I was like,
calendar,
hey. You just keep that done,
keep the change.
And not like the guy with the mix or the lady with the mixer that you were like, so were you going to give me my 50 cents?
That was, the previous, that was on Friday when Jimmy and Sonya and I went to a community sale kind of locally in our area. And Yeah, that should be coming out in a video.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
We'll say it should be coming out in a video.
Yeah,
but hey, before it gets too late, I do want to touch on another topic, a video that you guys have, that FJ Treasures, go check out their channel. We're going to link them and their video down below, but it has kind of stirred up the reseller world.
Caused a little ruckus.
And not necessarily with resellers, but companies that resellers deal with.
Yeah.
And it was eye-opening. So tell us a little bit about your video that came out, or videos.
Yeah, Janelle and I recorded a video on bubble wrap. Real exciting stuff. We bought bubble wrap from 5 different companies and rolled it out in our yard. We got a pretty big yard here, and measured it out to see how much bubble wrap these companies are shipping versus how much they're selling you. And it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And how that all came about.
So what prompted you? Yeah, so it's been a big stir because it's very eye-opening of how short the rolls of videos. I don't want to do spoilers or anything like this. We'll talk about as much. Go watch those videos. But what prompted you to do the video in the first place? Why did you want to roll bubble wrap? Which I want to say, yeah, your yard is huge, because I was trying to explain this to my folks that they live next door, and I was trying to say, oh, these guys rolled out all this bubble wrap, and so I had to say that would stretch from your front yard all the way down to, they have 2 lots, and then there's my lot, and then there's a neighbor. It would stretch from your lot all the way to the neighbor's driveway if you did all of that. And they're like,
at least it's supposed to anyway.
They're like, why would they do that? So anyway, what prompted you? What prompted you to do the video?
So kind of a little secret here, so only your viewers are gonna really know about this story. About a year ago, I remember somebody mentioning to me, I'm not gonna give names, I don't want to blow people in and stuff.
Sure.
I remember someone mentioning to me that there's some companies that short the rolls of bubble wrap, and I remember it was pretty significant, but I can't remember how much it was. And I thought to myself, man, that would be a pretty cool video. And that was kind of when we're just starting out our channel and stuff. I'm still learning editing, still obviously hundreds of ideas running through my head on videos. So it kind of came and gone. I think the weather kind of sucked too, so rolling bubble wrap out in snow, rain, and ice, and that just
would have been fun.
Really fun.
Right?
So then recently in reseller water cooler Facebook group, shameless plug, there were moderators there. So if you want to join, we'll
check that out. Reseller water cooler
Facebook group. Yeah, we're
Facebook group. Okay.
It's Lonnie Shedflip from Shedflip. Yeah, Lonnie from Shedflip's Facebook group, and he made us moderators. I made a question in there about bubble wrap. Just curious if there was a higher quality bubble wrap that was more expensive, because I was willing to pay more for a higher quality bubble wrap. Not that we'd have a problem with our bubble wrap now through American Bubble Boy, but I made the mistake of buying an eBay store off of somebody that has a ton of glassware, and I cannot stand glassware. I'm catching myself double wrapping, triple wrapping this glassware, which is my fault, not the bubble wrap's fault. And I was like, well, if I buy a higher quality bubble wrap for more money, maybe I can cut the time in half for me wrapping this junk up.
Yeah.
And so I made the question, and somebody had mentioned about certain companies shorting their bubble wrap, and then the light bulb went off. Oh, that's right. I remember somebody mentioning that a year ago. So I did a little more research. I started looking at feedback of companies, and even feedback from years ago, and some of these companies are mentioning that their customers were shorted. So I did some little more research. I started asking some people around, hey, where do you buy your bubble wrap? I'm trying to find like a few big companies that people purchase from commonly or regularly. And we came up with 5, and I went and ordered the bubble wrap and didn't tell anybody about the video or anything. I didn't want anybody knowing. I didn't want to get a special order of bubble wrap. Tried to find like kind of common footages that people order, common widths or whatever. You know how some websites might put a certain footage in a bigger box, hey, buy this one. This is what everybody buys. This is the best deal. So I try to like buy the most common. Yeah. And it came in, and we one Sunday morning, it was gorgeous out. I go, let's do this. Let's record it. Let's make a day of it. And we rolled it out, and I was pretty shocked at how short a couple were.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they were going to be short from what people were telling me, but I didn't think it was going to be that short. I thought I was doing something wrong, personally.
Yeah, I mean, even just rolling it out, I didn't believe it at the time. I'm like, we got to be doing something wrong. Something's not right. So we measured it. We measured it again and checked our,
Yeah, all my reactions in that video were purely authentic. We did not pre-measure. We didn't pre-check. And I was pretty shocked.
Well, I love the way that you express yourself in that video. The kind of tongue in cheek of, oh well, maybe it's on back order and they're gonna send the rest of, it just the way that you presented it, because there again, the purpose of it was not to call out any companies. It was just to state a fact. I ordered it from these bigger name companies. I rolled it out and I measured it. This is what I came up with. And people can use that the way that they want.
The results were unexpected. Maybe you expected some, but the actual results, you could see the shock in your guys' face. But I kind of asked you guys this and this is because I love YouTube and I like to watch YouTube and learn from YouTube. And I could kind of see you guys in your guys' face, like you guys were on to something big here. Like this video, you had to know after seeing the results that, this video has a chance of doing really good. And it has done really well. So kind of tell me a little bit about that moment when you realized you might be onto a good video. And then kind of tell us a little bit about how this video has affected you guys and your channel.
During the editing, I started crunching numbers to put the little pop-ups, like how much money we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And the numbers, I was trying to kind of find the bottom of the hole, so to speak. Like, where did this start? Was it wrong orders? Did I just get sent the wrong rolls?
Right.
And just the more digging I did, the deeper the hole went and the bigger the numbers we're getting as far as the amount of money that people have been shorted. And during that editing phase, I kind of was thinking, man, I think I got a winner here. This is going to be a good video.
Yeah.
And as far as our channel wise, it has done really well for us. And I'm not trying to talk that down by any means. We're very thankful that video has done so well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of stirred me up a bit. I mean, if there's any other content creators watching this that are familiar with YouTube, you got to kind of niche your channel down as far as like whether you're going to do picking videos, what solds, testing videos. And this is kind of out of our norm with our channel. So it's kind of gotten my head spinning, like, where do we go from here? I mean, I'm sure tons of people would love us to test more stuff, but I mean, that's not really sustainable, I feel, because I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, a lot of the subscribers we've gotten, a lot of the people that have watched these videos are people that, watch our regular type of videos anyway, our reselling videos, what solds, what we're finding. And so, I mean, we might not retain, everybody, but I don't know. I think those, the people that we've gotten have, it's just kind of what they watch anyway.
And I mean, we've gotten a ton of people thanking us. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have left comments in the video. Thank you so much. Very eye-opening. Some were even saying that they've suspected this happening, and obviously not to that degree.
Yes.
And I if there's any other content creators watching this, I encourage, I'm not going to be offended if you do a video like this and steal my ideas. Do it. Let's get the word out. Let's show people truly what companies we should be purchasing from and which ones are true to their word. Let's expose this stuff. I'm not looking to capitalize on this or be the one with the patent, so to speak. Let's all do some stuff on this.
Yeah.
So it has really helped your sub count. You've got a lot of new subs to your channel?
Yeah, we were sitting around 1,800. I think we're like almost 2,600 now. So that's kind of crazy.
Has that video broke 10K views already? Or
I think I checked right before coming on with you guys. It was like 9.6K, and then the follow-up was right around 4K. So
wow. Yeah. So I mean, for a channel like me, knowing for a channel that's up and coming, that's a big video. Especially as that fast.
Yeah.
In what, 2 weeks or something? Yeah.
And it kind of, I mean, trying to find the right words here. It's crazy when everybody's talking about you. like all these big channels that we don't really know the people personally, and then we're hearing our names dropped, and And it's funny, like every now and then I'll see a spike in views, and then I go on YouTube to see like who talked about us just recently.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it has, you know, ramifications all the way around, not only for the companies that are selling these items, the bubble wrap, and, you know, it's people that have put their names, you know, with either a certain company or a certain product or whatever that are, you know, it's when you endorse a product, and that's, you know, might be something with, you know, some of the YouTube channels and content creators out there, you know, to just be mindful of what you're doing. Of course, you can't control everything, but if you are, you know, attaching your name to a product or another company, it can have ramifications down the road when, you know, somebody like yourself does just an honest, you know, video, not to call anybody out or any company, just here's what it is, what it is. And which, Jimmy, that leads me, I'm scared of our sponsor, you know, Dude Wipes.
You know,
have
you pulled those out and counted those?
I have not, but I'm not really worried about the package count of the Dude Wipes. I'm worried, you know, what if our viewers are not getting that minty fresh feeling that I'm getting, you know, after each, you know, use. After, you know, it's
of course
these are the mint chill flavor Dude Wipes. And so, you know, I'm afraid that, you know, someone's gonna do a test. Frank and Janelle, feel free to you know, test out the Dude Wipes and see if they're leaving you.
We did check everybody's food at the Cracker Barrel and made sure everybody got the right amount of food. That
I think I was shorted fries. I think I was shorted fries.
A few fries. You know, I had my 3 chicken strips and my you know, I will say the waiter there, he was right. The steak tips were not great. He's like, well, you know, I agree. Our beef isn't that great. It was dry. They didn't even ask you, how do you want them cooked? And I think it was, you know, charcoal briquette is how they cooked them in the end, because they weren't that was great.
Beef? I thought it was pork.
Oh, yeah. No, see, that's how much they cooked it. It had the wrong consistency. But yeah, I would say thank you for this video myself. You said you got a lot of people thanking you. It is very eye-opening on your supplies. And you know, I seen some of the comments and stuff, people saying, you know, class action. That it is not that anything would come of that, but it is a classic case of, hey, how long have we been shorted? We've been buying these products for years.
So
we talked about a year ago.
I didn't disclose this in the video or not. Like I mean,
are we getting an exclusive?
Well, a little bit. At a certain point, you think to yourself, man, I'm just completely like bashing certain companies, and you start feeling bad. You know, I mean, I guess you shouldn't, but it's like you start going down the hole, and it's literally, I mean, this whole thing's literally a rabbit hole. I was looking at feedbacks from 3-4 years ago. I actually found a video that's 4 years old of a certain company that was in our video of shorted rolls of bubble wrap. I mean, granted, it didn't get the traction ours did because no offense to them, just the editing, the title. We all know title, thumbnails, everything in YouTube, and you know, viewer retention and stuff. So it didn't really quite get the traction ours did, but it was shorted bubble wrap. I mean, this is going 4 years. So it's like, how long has this been going on? And it was and just so you know, it was a different product of bubble wrap. It was than what was in our. It was the same, one of the same suppliers, but it was like a green colored bubble wrap in this video.
Pink.
Pink.
Okay.
So obviously that company got it from a different supplier, and they were still shorting the bubble wrap. If you guys do a little digging, it'll shock you how deep this goes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say about you. What you just said about feeling a little, you know, maybe a little, have some sympathy or whatever. I think it should all be based on how these companies react and the response that they give you. And I feel like that should be a lot. And it has been part of your follow-up, and we've seen, and I disagree with a lot of it. Some of the stuff. And so you should start to wane that, you know, that feeling of sympathy when they're not willing to even address it or help, or they're doing some things that are like, you know, some of the people that had their names attached to it have done the right thing right away. They addressed it. They're doing cleanup work. They are doing everything they can to try to make this right. but the companies themselves kind of sound like they're doing some stuff to try to cover it a little bit. So that's
I kind of agree with you, Jimmy. I mean, because I talked to a couple of these companies, even the owner directly mentioned that I was a YouTuber, you know, after all this and that, and I gave these people the benefit of the doubt. I said, hey, I'm willing to do another video.
Yes.
Send me a correct order, correct footage and everything. I'll do a follow-up video and say, hey, we got the wrong order. This is what you guys are going to receive if you place this order. If you place the exact same order as we did, this is what you're supposed to receive. Make it right. Send it to us. Don't send us just a difference. Send us a whole new order. I'm not trying to get free bubble. Trust me, I got plenty of bubble wrap. I don't need any
plenty of unwrapped bubble wrap.
Just send me something that I can unroll for the viewers and show them, hey, this is what you're going to get. This is the exact footage. This is, you know,
because this isn't just about you. This isn't just about FJ Treasures. This isn't just about Frank. This is about all your other customers that have been buying bubble wrap from you for years, that have been shorted for years. This is what it's about. It's not just about my video I put out anymore. It's about all your customers.
That's what you said on the phone to these people.
And a little bit more, a little more exclusive footage for you guys here, or exclusive information, because it's something I can't really prove on video. It's kind of hard to show and stuff. So bubbles are measured by height. You got 1/8 and 3/16. They'll be marketed as small bubble. And you know, and 1/8 and 3/16 is a pretty big difference. And and one will sell one and then replace it with the other. You know, you'll be getting a smaller bubble than what you actually purchased. So just something to look out for too, guys, when you're ordering bubble. I mean, if that small bubble is smaller or is cheaper than another, you know, competitor, just, you know, find out exactly what that height of bubble is supposed to be.
That's that you know, the video was done very, very professionally, very openly, very honest. You tried to show without cuts, without edits. You know, this is the measuring process. You know, you had some camera shots of watching the ticker, the distance, you know, thing go up, and showing it at the end, and it was fair, and it was not to call out any one company. It was to call out what we found out, pretty much all of them that do bubble wrap. And so, you know, like I said, with a lot of other people that said thank you, I'll thank you for that, because it's eye-opening to me. Have you got a lot of requests for people that say, oh, well, I use this bubble wrap from this company, I use this bubble wrap? Are they wanting you to test all of their our comments brands is
loaded with stuff. I mean, even outside of bubble wrap, packing paper, packing tape. We are going to hit packing tape a little bit.
I heard maybe there was some comments about a ponytail of some.
So when I dropped that video, I told, you know, I noticed it was getting a lot of traction, and I told Janelle, all right, you know, we're no-name YouTubers. Everybody knows how comments go on YouTube, and I told Janelle, you know, when we start getting comments about my hair or my ponytail, we know we got a winner here for a video. And, we got a few of them, so we made it.
Oh, that's great.
Well, yeah, it is very you know, eye-opening. So everybody check out, go FJ Treasures. And we'll put the links down below. But check out their latest videos, and not only the latest videos, all of their, you know, previous content as well. They do a great job showing what they buy. A lot of it is kind of what sold stuff that, you know, you're there in the treasure chest showing what souls. I like the way that you do the editing, where both of you are involved in showing the items, and your interaction with one another is fun. And so, you know, definitely check out their channel.
Thanks.
Thanks,
so
Ken.
And what do we got? What do we got here to wrap up the show? Any closing comments that anybody wants to throw out?
No, I don't. No. Again, I want to thank Frank and Janelle for coming on, and you know, it's not just about the one video they put out. They, like Ken said, they've been putting out content for a while. I really enjoy it. You can learn a lot about the things they're picking, selling, tools, plush, stuff like that, and stuff that. Oh, and you can buy a macaroni and cheese plush from them.
Frank and Janelle sent this to me. This is FJ Mack. He's one of my listing buddies. That's back here with Fleet Frank, and
and so they had to add to Ken's his growing.
I guess my closing comment is, can we agree that we're going to meet again next year and do that highway sale again? Because I had a blast. That was a good time with you guys.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at coming up there, the one you were telling me about, the 90.
Yeah, come on up.
If we can make it happen, we will be there.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that'd be fun.
It will also be cool. You guys are also going to the reseller rally, correct? In September.
Yeah,
at the end of September. So we'll get to hook up with you guys again, and in that setting, and have fun, and that's always a good time. And so, what closing comments? You got anything that you guys want to throw out there about highway sales? Are they worth it? About bubble wrap videos? What do you got?
No, not much else. We are gonna probably do a video on tape. I just got to figure some stuff out on that, because that's gonna be fun. But other than that, we're gonna try to spin it, rotate it back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, well, we may throw some tests in between with our videos, or embed it, and then and then I don't know. You like highway sales, right, honey?
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
yeah. I mean, we have a community sale we're hitting next week. We're excited about a good one.
Yeah, we
hit
share some footage on that. So it's one of our. So we got town of Oakfield near us, and that is a big winner for us. We make a lot of money off that town sale, so we're gonna hope to get some footage on that. And again, like I said, I had a blast with you guys. I hope we do it again. Yeah. It was a ton of laughs, ton of camaraderie, ton of adrenaline rushes, just cheering each other on, finding stuff. And I encourage other people to do that too. Find a big group and go picking together. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the meetups and meeting the people in the community, you usually only see them on, this side of the camera. To get to see them, on the other side of the camera was just fun. Was a good time. So
keep pulling into people's driveways at yard sales. Get hopping out of your car. No, kids, don't hop out of your car on a highway.
I did that today. Well, today's Sunday, so we just got home from the highway sale. We stayed an extra day and hit a couple Sunday sales. I took Ken's advice. I started pulling right into driveways today.
Heck yeah. And I'm gonna end it with this. Boys and girls, be sure to measure your bubble wrap.